Hey, how's it going? Today's a new day. We taking a look at new things that are happening, and let's try to understand a little bit better of what's happening in the world of thought. Today would be the day. Perhaps I would be taking a look at five different case studies. We're gonna be taking a look at perhaps new businesses, and or perhaps existing businesses and some of the major things happening in the world. Within this video, I'm gonna be taking a look at Jamie Dimon and his decision at cashing out his stock at JP Morgan. He has decided to cash out his shares for the first time since becoming CEO nearly 2 decades ago. Himself, I think he understands the industry very well, and for whatever reason, he decided that the day is October 27th, right? So it's some time ago. Um, that would be roughly about a month ago. And he's one of the top leading banks, right? JP Morgan. And for whatever reason, he had made the decision to cash out. So let's take a look at this information and what I was able to find online. Quick one, introduction, right? Jamie Dimon is an American business executive who have served as the chairman and chief executive officer or CEO of JP Morgan Chase, one of the largest and most prominent financial institutions in the world. I guess based on the US budget and how much money they have printed and which it doesn't really hold any value anymore. It used to hold some value back then when based. So if we will measure in paper, so themselves in US, it seems like they're managing a lot of paper over there. Uh, Diamond has been associated with JP Morgan Chase for a significant part of the career. Born on the March 13, 1956, Diamond has played a key role in financial industry and it's considered one of the most influential figures in banking. Before joining JP Morgan Chase, he held leadership positions in other financial institutions, including Citigroup. So there's a number of prominent banking institutions within the U.S. Top ones, perhaps just a handful, less than 10, right? They're still up there tackling large issues, right? Jamie Dimon is often recognized in his leadership skills and is known for navigating JP Morgan Chase throughout various economic challenges, including the global financial crisis of 2008. He is respected for his insights into financial industry and its involvement in decisions and policymaking related to economic and financial matters. So perhaps he does know what he's doing. I don't know how much of some of his decisions was affected by the government and government's decisions, and how much impact he himself had in those decisions, and what those kind of decisions led to situation where he might consider cashing out. Let's come back to today's video. Jamie Dimon will do something he has never done before in nearly 2 decades, and decades as he had head of JP Morgan Chase sell shares in the company. The top executive of the nation's largest bank will sell 1 million shares starting next year, according to regulatory filing this week. This is what I'm reading, right? I don't know if this information is accurate, right? I don't want anyone to be affected by those kind of decisions. That would be partially why I would not necessarily know if that information is accurate, as well as I'm not looking to affect any of the markets, right? It is for education purposes only. I don't know what kind of effect that might have, but perhaps there's opening, right, for some of you if you're interested looking for a job, right? If he would decide to leave the company. But either way, JP Morgan sought to reassure investors that the stock sale is not a matter of concern. Okay, let's skip some of that. Diamond and his family currently hold about 8.6 million shares of the bank, and JP Morgan has became a titan under Diamond's leadership. Diamond became CEO of JP Morgan in January 2006 and added on the chairman role a year later. The value of the bank with 3.2 trillion in assets has tripled during Dimon's tenure, and it's now has a market capitalization of more than 409.1 billion, according to FactSet. I'm not entirely sure. It's something that there was recently a hearing. I think there was a hearing that I was looking at recently. It might be even yesterday. And there's roughly about 80% of all the business that as a banking institution they were doing. That would be mortgages, right? And operating some of the real estate and assets. So 80%. So perhaps that has something to do with property holding its value, and paper don't have any value. Paper doesn't hold any value, and some of the properties that they within the legal framework within US they can acquire those properties just in case it would not necessarily people would be able to pay some of that money back. So there's a kind of tricky station that everyone might find themselves into, an overall banking institution, and well, the way how banks currently been structured, where the banks themselves do not need to hold any reserves, right? So they used to be they need to hold 100% in the before lending any money. It used to be 50, and now it's zero. They don't need to hold anything before lending money. So all the changes and everything what's happening across the world on this limit that he perhaps has something to do with some of those decisions of that. The value of JPMorgan shares has also tripled in that time, and they are another up 10% in the past year. Again, money, if anything, lost more and more of its value, right? If anything, I'm interested where that money will move to, right? So if we're cashing out some of that stock and we're looking to put that money in good use, if we're moving from stock into liquid cash, from liquid cash that doesn't hold any value, and if anything, it loses a lot of value. If that money would be moved into gold, perhaps, or perhaps would be moved into other ventures, would be kind of interesting, I guess. Some of those projects, new projects, will be popping up. Something to look forward to, right? New projects might be started. The New York Bank reported a 35% surge in profits during its most recent quarter, fueled by rapid rise in interest rates. Uh, Banks going bust, right? At least three banks that I know of go bust. So I don't know, surge in profits. I don't know about the profits. If everyone's surging in profits, why? That sounds like very contradicting. As far as I know, there's the banking and everything what's happening. There's some a lot of things might be happening in the background, right? So I don't know if everyone's following all the things that was happening, right? I don't know. It's surging profits. Yourself, if you're interested in learning more, I have published a book where I'm taking a look at livestock enterprise and where to begin and establishing and launching your first business, in particular if it's not something that you have done before. I'm taking a look at the milestones and how you can potentially achieve your first milestone. That will be progressing from zero to a first 10,000 euros, dollars, pounds, and how you can achieve this milestone and how you can start with that and progress into further milestones, right? And within this book, I'm sharing a lot of examples of other people out there who have done it, so you can learn from other people's experience. That will be a lot of value for many people, when particularly doing something that you yourself have never done it, right? So taking a look at others and how they did it, how they tried it, try and error, and what worked and what not necessarily was the best value for money or time. You can find it QR code in the corner and company's website below. When the bank posted another blockbuster earnings report a few weeks ago, Dimon warned this may not be the most dangerous time the world has seen in decades. Dimon laid out a laundry list of major issues: the Russian-Ukraine war, the new war between Israel and Palestine in Gaza, high level of government debt and deficit, high inflation, as well as a tight labor market where workers' demand for increased wages have led to high profit strikes in manufacturing and entertainment. Okay, so he himself he thinks that's the problems, right? I don't know. I don't know. I see it completely different. Where the money has no value. There's no value, and banks do not need to hold any reserves, right? Where you used to need to hold 10% or 20%. They don't need to hold any reserves, and just printing money, which are not backed by anything. I think that would cover more of the issues, right? And borrowing, hopefully, within U.S. right? If we're taking like U.S. market, where is it 25%? Hopefully, it won't against its debt, right? So paying out only the debt that was borrowed, right? But they could just print more. So it doesn't matter at some point. So it's I don't know roughly about 25% now as we speak. Hopefully, it would increase compared to other countries in the world where borrowing about 35% of its budget has been borrowed. So either way, so it's just something to follow, I guess, everything what's happening in the world. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.